Did you know that 98% of Americans consume insufficient amounts of potassium? That's a sizable portion of the population, and it's probably because the ordinary American has a strong preference for processed meals, which forego nutrition in favor of taste, affordability, and comfort. You may be one step closer to potassium shortage and other health issues if you choose unhealthy processed meals over raw and organic fruits and vegetables. What occurs to your body as a result of inadequate potassium intake? What makes it necessary in the first place? And is it possible to raise your potassium levels again? All of this and a lot more will be covered. Keep watching to the very end because we answered all of your questions. Let's start with potassium deficiency symptoms. Have you been experiencing constipation issues? Bloating. Potassium has a critical role in controlling muscle contractions and brain signal transmission. The lengthy, tube structure of your intestines, where food is digested down to produce energy before being flushed out as waste, might be impacted by low potassium levels. In these situations, your intestines are unable to perform their function and do not contract on a regular basis. Food and leftover waste are more difficult to pass when there are fewer muscular contractions. Constipation is the result of the stools staying in the colon. This is referred to as paralytic ileus in medical terminology, which is a brief partial paralysis of your gut muscles. There is commonly gas and bloating associated with paralytic ileus. Hypokalemia, or severe potassium depletion, is a common electrolyte disorder that might occasionally necessitate immediate medical intervention, particularly in hospitalized patients. So, if your constipation persists for longer than a week, monitor your potassium levels and see a physician. Have you been bothered by persistent cramps and pains in your muscles? Recurring cramps and pains in the muscles. You can attribute a dramatic return of an old injury to insufficient potassium. Your muscles' blood flow is monitored by potassium. Your muscles will receive less oxygen if your potassium levels are low, which will cause them to stiffen and cause other discomforts. Cramps can result from a prolonged skeletal muscular contraction brought on by a potassium deficiency, since potassium is essential for controlling muscle contractions and transmitting instructions from your brain. Rhabdomyolysis, or the disintegration of muscle tissue, can also result from persistently low potassium levels. Strength-producing muscle fibers break off in this illness and are discharged into the bloodstream, seriously harming your kidneys in the process. There is still another connection between muscle cramping and inadequate potassium. Potassium is an electrolyte that helps your body's water equilibrium by cooperating with minerals like magnesium and sodium. However, what occurs if you don't get enough of this nutrient? If such is the case, you will be dehydrated regardless of how many glasses of water you drink, since your water levels will be out of balance. Your body begins removing potassium from your cells in an attempt to restore equilibrium, depriving them of this mineral. Your muscles become unbalanced once more as a result, and you may suffer from excruciating cramps. As we just discussed, potassium and sodium are electrolytes that cooperate to keep the water equilibrium. However, did you know that occasionally these coworkers can switch roles and turn against one another? That's accurate. Your body's ability to absorb potassium may be hampered if your diet results in high levels of sodium. If consuming heavily salted foods is your favorite pastime, you may want to reconsider your snacking habits, as it's important to watch your sodium intake. You get tingling in your feet and hands. Cricket game: a tingling feeling in your feet and hands. Do you frequently experience tingling and numbness in your limbs after spending a prolonged amount of time in a particular position? This is called paresthesia and is a peculiar feeling that may indicate low potassium levels. Potassium is essential for maintaining healthy neuron function and signaling by improving the efficiency of your brain's communication channels. Low potassium levels can obstruct your nerves' ability to communicate with the brain. You experience these odd sensations as a result, which are typically felt in the extremities of your body, such as the hands, feet, arms, and legs. Usually, we refer to it as the pins and needles feeling. Nearly everyone has encountered it at some point in their lives. It takes place as your body slumbers. This type of paresthesia is transient, may be caused by little amounts of pressure on a nerve, or by brief intervals of reduced blood flow, and it doesn't always require medical intervention. However, Persistent paresthesia may be a sign of a more serious medical condition. In certain situations, it could cause stabbing pain and, if it affects the feet, make walking difficult. While moderate hypokalemia is a prevalent cause of this disorder, excessive potassium levels can also cause identical symptoms in the majority of cases. Have you recently noticed that your heart palpates a lot? I've been having heart palpitations a lot lately. Consuming potassium on a regular basis is essential for controlling your heart rhythm and for preserving the electrolyte balance needed for your heart muscles to function properly. Inadequate intake of this nutrient causes an imbalance that might cause your heart to beat irregularly, which can result in palpitations. If left untreated, a chronic potassium deficit can result in arrhythmia, a serious cardiovascular condition characterized by an erratic heartbeat. Chest fluttering, persistent chest discomfort, fainting, and dizziness are possible symptoms. Because arrhythmias result in irregular heartbeats, some people may experience very fast heartbeats, while others may have very sluggish heartbeats that seem to stop altogether. Both circumstances pose a major risk to your life and have the potential to trigger a heart attack or stroke. Do you use the restroom frequently? Regular trips to the restroom. It can be difficult to resist the persistent need to urinate. Your frequent want to go to the bathroom will become more frequent than usual, and this incessant need to urinate can interfere with your sleep, concentration, and work routine. Your body can produce up to 15 L of urine, 5 times your initial capacity, if you are deficient in potassium, which can cause your body to produce up to 3 L of urine per day. This is why you always feel like you need to urinate and your bladder seems to be full all the time. We refer to this state as polyuria. However, there must be a portion of your physique that can assist in controlling this circumstance, right? That's the function of your kidneys. Urine is the waste substance your kidneys eliminate from your body and keep the fluid balance in your body in check. Low potassium levels, however, can interfere with the kidney's ability to filter waste and regulate fluids by throwing off your electrolyte balance. Additionally, low potassium inhibits the kidney's capacity to concentrate urine. You feel the need to urinate more frequently as a result. Because polyuria causes excessive urination to deplete your water reserves, leaving you dehydrated, it can also cause extreme thirst. Therefore, the brain encourages you to drink as much water as possible in order to restore your body. We refer to this increase in thirst as polydipsia. Proceeding, hypertension is a telltale symptom of a potassium deficit. Elevated blood pressure. Keeping your electrolyte balance in check is essential for controlling blood pressure. The majority of us are probably aware that eating more sodium will increase blood pressure, but we rarely hear about potassium's role in this process. Serum potassium levels below normal can harm your kidneys, which are responsible for eliminating too much salt from your blood. Elevated blood pressure is the result of extra sodium staying in your body for a prolonged period of time due to an impaired kidney's ability to handle sodium. The majority of persons in the US have high blood pressure, which increases their risk of heart disease and stroke. Only 1 person out of 4 has their blood pressure levels under control to begin with. However, merely consuming adequate potassium through food is a positive step toward preventing high blood pressure. Research has also demonstrated that eating enough potassium can assist maintain and even improve electrolyte balance by controlling sodium levels in the blood. However, how can your potassium reserves be restored? Restock your potassium stores. We've said it before and we'll say it again. All you need to do is eat more potassium-rich foods. An adult, 20 years of age and older, should consume approximately 3,000 milligrams of potassium per day from food, for men, and 2,320 milligrams for women. Yet, a study indicates that racial differences may exist in the daily consumption of potassium. Potassium is included in a variety of foods, originating from both plant and animal sources. Legumes like kidney beans and soy are good sources, as are fruits and vegetables. By themselves, fruits like apricots have about 800 milligrams of potassium per serving. In a close race, lentils come in second with 750 milligrams of potassium per serving, and bananas come in third with 358 milligrams. Relatively high potassium content is also found in almonds, yogurt, chicken, fish, and meat. In terms of starchy foods, brown rice and whole wheat flour are preferable to refined white wheat flour and white rice if you want to raise your potassium levels. Can you guess what an average adult American's diet has the highest amount of potassium? Alcohol-free drinks. Yes, coffee is a great source of potassium, and it's also important to include milk and tea in your diet. Coffee keeps you going and helps you deal with those tired Monday morning blues. Which ones don't fit you? You could also try apples, orange juice, raisins, soy milk, broccoli, squash, and spinach. Sodium and potassium are partners that combine to keep your body running smoothly. Tell us in the space provided for comments below,